Only paying, only not paying, you know, Pokuna, Chikunika, only like we pay Vice Chancellor Zachariah, we only like go on, thank you very much.
That's why you but even the one cry, go, and we hear you. I concur. I stand on existing protocol. I'm so privileged during the list of the SA, Makota, TVK, down in Yaga. I got a legally, but there are talk for retire. Professor David Yone, one Vice Chancellor, the University of Muka, or Kama Tuman as the Fajeta team Yaga. I'm now going to see Tumatioke and the Tati Jomia, or Nadikan, whatever handle may Lamako, Itiome. One way, when I click one in Hooper, or but Sembre. The Sembagene ya young classmate one, Yeru Boki one hands, in Mekwa. I look at him and so exemplary, and I respect him a lot, and I learn a lot from him. Because again, Kayo wife, Muyatio, because Nagine, my professor, who you name, you look at Batuna, Babalam never see Yapa, but Tiran Shaka adds a tip by you. Kasi nage wantare ganu ba kemu mana kaune chidim lohone. The title of paper is mostly for Simba Hennehe, Rumba area. 10 leadership lessons we can learn from Wantare. A lot have been said, his history and all of that. So Yanisi Tuma, Mama, Professor Shedra Kuhoyun, through Lamu Wantare SK, how can we liken Wantare? As the Kamichi, yes, and then just if you're attempting to liken Wantare to the likes of Nelson Mandela, because Nongo, Erin, Kwa, Uzan, Nahara. So we looked at Wantare in respect to a revered humanist and activist like Nelson Mandela, because Nelson Mandela, all that mattered to him was the people, and that was the circle that we too decided to define leadership. Leadership is the people. Because everything has to be done around the people's consent and agreement. And Hamakwa about people. So it's center leadership around around the people, basically, and that is the main point which we are looking at, which this paper intends to look at. And see, first of all, it can say Wantare Nongo was a catalyst for transformation. Wantare Nongo. At that time, remember, see, ready, see, Yansu physically get us we discovered that Wantare almost had what the people by 1980, before 1983, when he contested the governorship against Aku, he almost had what Batuka a shadow government. Your history now or Yange Juladako group of companies. Juladako group of companies, Yochi, Nyakanta, Inano scholarships bar. So practically, Hamako Wantare really was about the people. So we look at him as more of, as a catalyst for transformational leadership. And then secondly, we say Wantare Nongo was a leader with a vision. Actually, because of vision young Remia, anywhere young everywhere, the agenda of young matter to one was about the people. And particularly the Tea people. Because when we research about him, we discovered that Shenu, the really don't pay Ajakuta steel company. I be the minister of steel. But those things, history, senior prof, Babando Hera, how young it or Matachia Joji Toyo Bagani, he is visionary. He empowered these people so that prayer, these same people, will uplift the chief nation and land. Now, thirdly, Wantare Paul Nongo was an inspiration to all. Wantare had passion for unity, peace, and progress, which resonated in every aspect of his relationship with the people. Like I said, it was just about the people. His, relationship with the people was more like a Nigerian. He believed in Nigeria first, before even believing in that, okay, there is Steve Nation in the first place. He was a Nigerian. Because the only thing Alam have got interest, Professor Harepa, that if not for Wantare and a few of them, I got Steve Marubel in Chunya, the assembly young is the Constitutional Assembly young is in 1978, right? How they stood against Sharia, because Arungu Hitaya, it is expected that we as a people, the Constitution will see rightly that yes, we after before you own a religion, you have freedom of religion, freedom of association, and a well embedded. This is a United Nations declaration for association, for freedom of it's a word, it's a global thing. So I nama adakai timba that kind of those cultural sentiments, Hingiru, whether you young resist issue, even what man done for you. So he was an inspiration to us, So, and then see the hand number 4. Move, sa, and some of you people can just, if we get the photocopy of it. One time report number was selfless. And what is selflessness? Leadership is just about being selfless. That's leadership. But he go on here and sometimes, especially how you were singing, at the moment they get to those political offices, you just feel that, okay, but it's no longer about service to the people. So that selflessness is being denied. It's not there. It's not there. So, you be into leadership by mistake. He joined here. These are people, but see, Father and Mother were with that. Who carried it to my leadership positions, very retire. But can see on Shangen severally over and over, just like by Wantare over and over, with all that he had, with the vision that he had, he was always denied the chance. But he joined Madam Deum, Mavasimavatire Gomana. But these are stories. They are colors about the man. He was a selfless leader. He believed in the people's supremacy. He prioritized welfare above his own personal needs. His homes, practically, whether Yanam Tarabatu or Hadjos or anywhere or in Tivland, the speak Kasinala, we have heard stories whereby practically you're going to as their personal homes. I am going research, physical research, but say and survey. Here we can truthfully say that yes, there are stories of people loyalists now, but again, they are practically there. You can go to one terrorist place in Katsina, Ayotira. Stories being gay. Yes, we remember reading tributes. Pamava, Mupayama attempt to get tribute. Yeah, as much as even now, Payama attempt to get tribute because young move on down, move young Erin Quave, or Professor Yonemia, the late Basi Chiansi, who was also a Wantare. Now he share a position polo there at the point, even where even he one even he run like you be by a movement, he Wantare Ghana Karunja is straight against the family. So even though Wantare Yan Rebecca, more Basi on him to Nancy Zana, of course, So we don't need to go deeply into those stories. But as much as we are discussing it, we also see the bitterness that is found in our politics in Chief Nation. It's no longer exemplary like the play between senior Professor David Onema, Professor Hyde, when they contested for the Senate. Jakwara na can it ever happen? That means some of us that kind of politics, that politics without bitterness, it's so rare. And see here and say, Aru in Jakwarangi, Ita was in a hand, Waranogo was in. Now, how do we play the politics? We play so incautious. Party carrying party so that to protect the people's interest. So we play the politics so incautiously, especially as a thief. In an example here, at the end of the day, Professor Highland, there is need for the governor and the SGF to come in harmony so that they can develop Chief Nation. These things are practical things. That if I will want to report, no, we are only young in Senate debate, can necessarily, another one of them would have become the president of Nigeria. But there was there wasn't that unity of purpose, so that too was denied. And now it's another opportunity for 30. And the questions here arises: where do we go from here? Number 5, one time report Nomu had unwavering integrity. Of course, the whole public office, as soon as the car shaje, my ESCC, maybe wrong. ICTC maybe wrong, but so Professor David you hold public offices. Young man say the year come and answer. So those are the things that carry anger. So integrity rather a leader must have them. Number 5 here. Now number 6. One time Paul Nombu was a charismatic leader. Unombu's charisma was magnetic. You know, everywhere he was so eloquent in speech, everywhere he mesmerized his audience. Anytime he spoke, there was this induced feeling of, yes, we really have a leader in somebody. So he was that charismatic. He was very articulate, very witty. You know, former President Muhammadu Buhari described one time recognizes him as a colossus in public life, very articulate and witty, who served his community and nation with great distinction. Number 7, one time Paul Nomu was a compassionate leader. We can keep saying this over and over. He was compassionate. He was selfless. We started knowing that guys are hero. And that in a feast, I think that you may have a lady, the role model support that is a honey pine, one young fat was this Nahane. One time was that compassionate to listen to their cry and even address them as much as they came. That was why the followership was so overwhelming. He was that compassionate. All that mattered to him was the people. And when you talk about leadership, like I said, leadership is simply about what? The people. Number 8, one time Paul Nombu had a mindset focused on growth and development. We talked about the establishment of Juladako group of companies, which, if it was a great idea that you sustain today, would have practically moved Tawasi beyond understanding. So through Juladako group of companies, Marocha and Sokorocha Higion became students who practically had nothing while they were young. They became students and later became maybe a governor and subsequently a senator of the Federal Republic. There are several of them who benefited from Wantare's benevolence, and we can mention them and continue mentioning them like that. Now, number 9. Before Bola Tinubu, president of Nigeria, says about Wantare, and I quote, "He is a famous statesman, a rare public servant who served with distinction in fulfillment of ideas that shaped many milestones in our nation's history." Number 9. Wantare Paul Nongu had an optimistic personality. You know, he believed when, as a young man, when he set up when he began to look at, okay, aspirations like community of TIF students, what was he looking at? After all, what was the recognition of TIF at that time? But he saw that, yes, he was optimistic that there was a great future for TIF Nation someday. That if he started this thing now, this was going to grow and mold leaders tomorrow. They began the community of TIF students. Professor how the idea of a community of TIF students came up. It was, you know, they spoke about the interests of the people, they built values, they grew political activism in all of these things that they were doing. Now, where is CTS? You people there are young people here who are in universities, and have you gone to read and, you know, get inspired with the philosophy behind Wantari setting up, you know, the community of TIF students in the first place? He was optimistic. And if we are not doing that, if as young people that is not on the ground, then there is work. We as young people, we need to go back, do some research, know the philosophy behind setting up a community of TIF students, and then grow along that line. And eventually, even leaders come out of that. Leaders came out. I spoke about Baonu Tulu, who were at University of Jos, were some of the leaders there. Babasi Chianse and the rest of them who were there, you know, they grew up this struggle at that level, and they were coming up. They came up as very vibrant leaders in our society today. And lastly, that's number 10. Wantari Po Nongo was a consensus builder. I don't need to even go into that. No decision was, a leader cannot take a decision unilaterally. A decision that you just sit alone in your bedroom and maybe consult your wife and you say, I'm a leader, it doesn't work like that. You need to consult the people. It's about the people's consent. It's about building consensus. Whatever is good, whatever is in the interest of people, that is all that surrounds leadership. So he was one that built his leadership ideology along consensus, along what I can describe as participatory leadership. Everybody mattered. Everybody, downtrodden. Yanaza, he hugged even the list of all old women and all these things like that. He was not discriminatory, and he wasn't at all. So these are things that we can all learn from him. These are things that we can all learn to imbibe from the great Wantari. Ladies and gentlemen, Wantari Nongo's legacy stands as a remarkable beacon for wisdom and inspiration for contemporary leaders. Life was marked by unwavering dedication to justice, equity, and inclusivity, values that resonate deeply today as we reflect on his contributions. Let us draw lessons from this commitment, fostering unity and progress within our communities. As we consider his achievements and positive impact, let's reflect on what people will say about us after we die. Will they speak well of our actions and contributions, or will they be glad to see us go? May this profound impact continue to guide us as we endeavor to create a society that upholds the dignity of every individual, ensuring that everyone has a voice and a place. His journey, Wantari Po Nongo's journey, reminds us that the leadership is rooted in compassion and a steadfast resolve to uplift others. Conclusively, as we honor his memory, let us strive to embody the principles he championed, working tirelessly to build a better future for all. May his soul rest in perfect peace. Thank you.
This is just a minute. Is Emmanuel Lubem Akos. He is representing Professor Koho Ione, right? Who's the other professor here? So now a past man for representing him, and that you represented him well. Well, you represented me as if the professor himself was here. Thank you very much. The machine even your aqua just a minute. Make us in your nose, but no one will and child nose who stop. Silver, machine aqua, Lucia, you look like tomato over there. So he go humble, Michi, Macapi, just somebody vice, Chancellor, Kufa, way out the Macrando, Zachariah, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, University of Gai. Vice Chancellor, KJ Crossing.
So, Chairman, General, thank you so much. And then my mentor, Professor David Yona. Mentor, I want to say three things. The first is, member no rule you never party. I remember party member you say don't go and take sides. You will be consumed. If I were not careful, I would have been consumed because of the feud between Professor David Yonama, Professor Yowasi. Don't mind them. Don't mind them. We go also. But she and young and those of us in the middle are lucky to have escaped intact. But we thank them because they have reconciled and the reconciliation is good. The next thing I want to say is the role of Akasha for Bishop, Bishop, just because we are in front of other people and we want to be politically correct. I don't want to be politically correct. I want to say what I know. Yes, Paul did a lot. By the time Muyangi conspires in the Paul as Minister of the Federal Republic, Ajakuta was about 82% complete. 82% complete. It's a shame to every one of us in this country that more than 40 years after Kualala, no person knows whether Ajakuta will ever be complete. In fact, it will not be complete because number for engineering machines by Yangi installed here about 40 years back, they are obsolete, they are scraps. So what you're willing Kualaga? But by the time Yangi Poka that factory was about 82% complete. I know this, and it's something you can fact check. Shujaka, you want more money.
Yes.
You want more money than what money was used to push that factory to 82%. You will yet prove Shinakbago, and we are sitting in this country, and that type of gentleman is there, and we cannot even celebrate him or celebrate what he was. See, was poor, all this talk about voluntarism, it will not work. Why will it not work? Because somebody too. Truth of the matter is that Paul he was more managa. Tanzania Kasa. We must study that. Why? Why is that so? But of all the politicians were that and Mintaraka Wigao, one Mintaraka Professor David Yonamaka, I do with him. Kanye Onshima, Juna Kai Kanahanga, but I do with him. And he has not taken it personal. Young Merlin Thompson Lagos, she national way. She no young live in national way, that is she no young Paul, La Shanga Akumajala, second time Ukumala. So, Akuma, I'm talking about something recent. Kashi Nomba Akuga. So, I left National we got together that we should support Paul. I had a problem. Well, my hospital is not functioning. My hotel is not functioning. Well, transport company is not functioning. Well, Mama Mujuladako for functioning. So I confronted David with this. Professor David Yona. I said, I should go and ask Paul now. Paul is up to the task. So young Paul, Washington Lagos, to do some other things. It was an opportunity. So we sat in Echo Meridian, I think a hotel in the VI. So, now we all know where transport company for work, where hospital for work, hotel for work. Manta Kasa for work. Why do you want to be governor? I thought you would hit the roof. I thought you would do it because you're a young. I was a young man. I was just a young man trying to. Okay, I thought I was standing up for something. Well, young man, Salam. He said he would want to work with me. He wanted me to support him. I came. We supported Paul. We thought we won that election. We thought we won that election. But somehow, young, even I say social election, we came to Urukum. We also looked at the hotel, when we left to Urukum, we set up an office there. We thought that we will win the case in court. We didn't. So, the politicians who had a court following. Most of the people, younger or proudly, she told, we have a party when you're a couple when you're. That means our poor young to hope away, and he actually messed some of them full time. Messed them up full time. Yeah, I would have been told now, but I was thinking because some of our they were doing the poor. Everything they had went in favor of Paul. It's a lesson to learn in the lives of these our people. It's a lesson to learn in the life of J.S. Tucker. It's a lesson to learn in the life of David, Professor David Yona. Great lessons to learn. Because if David had done certain things, Stardom already gone and hung out. But somehow, he did certain things in a particular way. The same thing with Paul. Let us learn. Because who he gone? Certain Solomon no. But then more Kukunaka because of Naira and Popo. They didn't even know the man. They didn't know him. And they will not even learn from his own death. They will not learn from his own death. But we should learn from his own death. He had philosophies, but Yam Zayo, yo. When I so may William Gambao. When I so may William Gambao. And there are people who may bury me here. He's one of them. Yes, he is. He may bury me. If I die, let me not stay. Actually, everywhere I speak, I get into trouble. Everywhere I speak, I get into trouble. That is why I have never, because if I eat right, I will not be politically correct. So I wonder what to learn from Paul. To learn from Paul. To learn from our politicians. To learn from our politicians and to stand our ground. To stand our ground. Because let's stand our ground. Because the questions he asks are important. I don't want to waste too much time when they more. Yeah.
So, excuse me. I'm not stopping you from asking this question. One thing I wanted was to see that we would not turn this symposium into a strictly political critique or criticism of political leadership and politicians in this country. Because Unengetan Noluna, Alaga, will do anything matter of Shima. Professor David, you can organize. If you don't mind, some of us do. Some of us do propose more better. Vice Chancellor, but two of them, she Uguapa, Olaba Shabuja, our two are in Wagonga, he go Abba Hunting, and all that. In the next week of one report, and for Vice Chancellor, our but it's really good. That you quite encourage to my way. So much only disciples were poor. Very cargo or Pasaka war. You might know what was the daily. Now, our and I think now we have exactly closed at a very good note of laying both positive and negative and constructive and destructive lessons for the philosophical political ideology of one child, which is militarism. So at that end we are calling upon.
Okay. Yeah, so somebody opinion, a crack out matter of it goes in hand. A street why is a wet chinner and hand. You want terrorism. So somebody doesn't get into the special you know, wash and move from December. After a show, no would say that. So, want terrorism as a philosophy to study by business as a batch. See publication now, see debate in academics.
That is exactly what we are saying.
No problem. If you have something to write, the University of Car will give you a platform. You come and speak there.
That's exactly what we are saying. So we want to thank you very much. Except that Uruma, I'm saying the cancer and at this note, we would ask the vice chairman and the convener. What is our chairman? He's answering the call. Because we would have asked the convener, who is the vice, who is the chairman of the symposium subcommittee of this chapter. So now that we have come to an end, you know, Professor David, you know, is a professor, they are teachers, they long talking and all of that is in their tradition. So we're going to ask the chairman of the Operation, please come and say something, please. Or so we're going to give this to the chairman of the committee to please close us with a closing comment so that we will finally close with a word of prayer. And we want to be politely rude enough to say we are giving the chairman only 2 minutes to speak. Mr. Chairman. I'm reading my mood. In those days, I would have said, shut up and sit down. I would like to say thank you very much, all of you, for attending this symposium. I really, honestly wish the invitation, the timing for this symposium gone bigger and wider. What has been said here is worth the attention of all chief people. And I mean it. I wish and I hope one day we can reorganize this symposium and get the people who spoke this to speak again, say what they have said today, to the hearing of all the people that matter. I really honestly wish we had a bigger gathering, and therefore bigger number of people that will hear and learn from what has been said here today. I personally feel particularly moved emotionally and also structurally. What has been said there has been what we need here, starting from what Wantare Poronogo generated. I'm not ashamed. I won't be afraid of telling anybody that missed this that what you missed, you have missed horribly bad. Yes, sir. And I wish really seriously that we can convince the powers that be to reconvene at this matter and give the bigger priority. Here we go again. Shutting my mouth. Now, and so I thank you very much. And I wish sincerely that we will have permission to get another occasion to have this repeated. And I'll be very happy for that. Thank God. I've been told that the aircraft carrying the body of Wantare has finally left us, heading towards Apudi. Again, I would like to say also that our job here in Boko starts really tomorrow. All of you who are here will be able to be available tomorrow. We'll be glad to have you around at the stadium, particularly, but also even at the Wantare's house in Adeka. It's been renewed, it has been renovated. The place is looking good. So come. Because the man is somebody that can hardly ever be forgotten by any chief person, except those who are young. As I said, when we were young people, Oronogo would have been, today would have been 89 years old. I'm 84. He was 5 years older than me. But he looked at us, he was younger, looking younger. A very charming person. His younger sister, who was my classmate,
wasn't as beautiful if you want. I'm sorry. Thank God you were not here. It was well, he's not here. And his mother was not as handsome as this in access. But they were good in character. But my first one was a brilliant, very sharp girl. Not only physical, mental busy. But on New Year, I'm sorry, on Empire Days, these are the ones that will run. You know, our school will be shouting. You know, physically also we had Empire Days every year. All this, the whole province will gather. Until we gather what is now called Zest. And then upon one of those days that one we say that party was shouting for the person who is going to win, who will be there. It is good to remember these things, especially when we can say to our children who will say, oh, I wish I were him or I wish I were her. So we can imitate. And so I pray seriously that we will get to an occasion when we can repeat this experience at a bigger audience. Thank you very much indeed. And please stand up tomorrow at the stadium, actually, where we are going to have the wiki. Thank you. And God bless you.
And at this note, the chairman has declared the symposium ended. Shall we stand up for a word of prayer, please?